news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, UNOCHA, United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Ethiopia, has released a detailed situation report about what happened within the last few days in Tigray, on Tigray-Amhara border, on Tigray-Afar border. Were there any drone strikes, air strikes? Who were killed in the drone strikes? Important thing, viewers, is that UNOCHA is mentioning who was killed in drone strikes within the past few days. Tigray has been claiming that civilians are being killed in air strikes, drone strikes, while Ethiopian government has remained largely silent about ongoing drone strikes. What is UN saying? We have UN statement. And secondly, viewers, we have good news for Tigrayans. Tigrayans were arrested en masse in different places, especially in Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa. In other parts of Ethiopia as well, they were taken into custody. Even Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, which is a state-backed, you can say to some extent, body, also confirmed mass arrests of Tigrayans in Addis Ababa. Now we have good news that in at least one place, around 100 Tigrayans have been released. Where is this place? Why were they released? Were they taken to a court? And are we're going to see more such news that Tigrayans could be released who have been in custody for weeks. We have a good news for Tigrayans. Firstly, viewers, we know that drone strikes have been conducted by Ethiopian Air Force on several places in western Tigray and in southern Tigray and in other parts of Tigray like Mekelle. We were discussing in previous videos that who is the target. Why is that Ethiopian government does not issue any statement after these airstrikes? Now, United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Ethiopia, UNOCHA, it has released a situation report about what happened on the ground in the past few days in Tigray, on Tigray-Afar border, on Tigray-Amhara border. UNOCHA says that dozens of civilians have been reportedly killed in drone strikes and air strikes on Alamata, Koram, Machio, Mehoni, Mekelle and Milazat. Dozens of these are the words written in the statement, quote unquote. Dozens of civilians were reportedly killed. Firstly. Secondly, UNOCHA has confirmed the drone strike on Mekelle power substation, which happened a few days ago, and due to which there was an electricity breakdown in Mekelle. The drone strike did happen on a power transmission center in Mekelle. The report says that one firefighter was also killed and one electricity transformer was heavily damaged. So UNOCHA has confirmed drone strikes on Mekelle, Machio, Koram, Alamata, Mehoni. Important thing is, viewers, that UNOCHA says that civilians are being killed. That is the position of Tigray government, that civilians are being killed. When these drone strikes happen, if you remember, I said Ethiopian government must issue statements. It must clarify about the targets. What was the target on the ground? Who were targeted? But Ethiopian government did not care to issue any statement. Now UNOCHA is building a case against Ethiopian government It says that drone strikes targeted civilians, or civilians were killed in drone strikes. But in coming days, it could lead to pressure upon Ethiopian government, because though Ethiopian government accuses the UN of being partial, of being supporter of TPLF, but since Ethiopian government is silent, it's not issuing any statements about the drone strikes. That is why Tigray's narrative and UNOCH's position will be taken as the situation on the ground, as the real situation on the ground. So that is why Ethiopian government is not countering this narrative so far. Civilians are being killed. In the previous video today, I told you about the killing of a UN aid worker who was killed in a drone strike while he was traveling from Alamata to Mekelle. Again, no denial from Ethiopian government so far. So, we can now conclude, viewers, that civilians are being killed in these drone and air strikes. Are they being killed as collateral damage? Or Ethiopian Air Force is deliberately targeting civilian places, civilian transport vehicles? That remains to be seen. Mekelle power station, it was not a military target. It is a civilian place. Civil infrastructure has been targeted when Mekelle power station was hit. So that is why a case is being built against Ethiopian government regarding the use of drones. Secondly, we have a good news for the people of Tigray, for Tigrayans, not for the people of Tigray, Tigrayans. We have received a report, so far not shared by any news source. An exclusive friend has shared this news with us. He says that around 100 Tigrayans have been released in Balcha Mamria. Balcha Mamria, I have been told, is in Addis Ababa. He says that Tigrayans were kept in custody for weeks. They were not taken to any court. No legal proceedings started against them. They were not charged with any offense. But now they have been released. He says that more such releases are expected of Tigrayans in coming days. Secondly, he has confirmed that Ethiopian government's crackdown on Tigrayans has slowed down. Now things are moving towards improvement. Those who are in detention, they are being gradually released. A very positive development, viewers, that Tigrayans are being released. But why did you arrest them? What was the purpose of arresting them, of detaining them? It did not serve any purpose. I personally think that. Rather, it led to more alienation between Tigrayans and the government. It was a very bad move on the part of Ethiopian government or on the part of PM Abiy's advisors. I did a video on that, if you remember, when it started, that it was a strategic mistake. I had told that it would lead to Tigrayans stand behind Tigray Defense Force. So I don't think that Ethiopian government gained anything out of this move. The good news that Tigrayans are being released. More than 100 have been released in Balcha Mamria, which is in Addis Ababa. Maybe in coming hours, other news outlets will also confirm this news story. Our source is on the ground and he has confirmed from the ground that Tigrayans have been released in Balcha Mamria. Thanks for watching.